Hi, this is Mrs. David, one of the art teachers in Downers Grove District 58. I'd like to take you on a field trip to the Downers Grove Public Library. They have a permanent art collection, and I'd like to show you around. When you enter the Downers Grove Library on the lower level, you will find the very first piece of art I'd like to show you today. It's the Ruby Macchia by famous American glass artist Dale Chihuly. Take a look because it's gorgeous. Macchia means spot in Italian. And this bowl has different colors on the outside, red on the inside, and a lip wrap, that rim wrap of a lime green color. As we continue around the lower level of the Downers Grove Library, you will find several pieces, like this one called Frozen Orchard by Patricia McGrady. Also, as I walk on the lower level, you will see 5 molas, and that's located in the children's area of the library. The 5 molas were stitched on an island off of the coast of Panama. Artists usually made them into blouses, but these are now decorative pieces that are framed at the library. They're made by layering different pieces of fabric, sewing in the different areas, and cutting away to the layer below. Usually, molas are different animals, flowers, or leaves. In 2017, John McDevitt, a Chicago area artist, painted this mural. At the bottom, you can see the Downers Grove Public Library, and books of different kinds and people are soaring out of the library. And you get kind of a cool landscape bird's eye view. Very colorful and very fun. The artist David Gernstein was born in Jerusalem in 1944. He created this whimsical sculpture made up of tiny bicyclers. It shows the movement and color and excitement of a bicycle race. Along the staircase going up to the second story, you will see the art by Dallas Cole made in 1977 called The Story of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was a king of the Sumerian. It's one of the oldest surviving epic poems. And the story was that people were using epic clay tablets to record their stories before 2000 BC. The importance of this piece of art is that it was donated by the Friends of the Library to honor a special librarian, Frida Humphreys, who worked in the library from 1925 to 1972. She was the first full-time children's librarian, and she became head librarian in 1942. Now we're on the second level of the Downers Grove Library. There's art throughout the upper level. To the right, you will see stacks of books, and at the ceiling right there are some pieces of glass that go along with a big sculpture on the ceiling. Right above my head here is a sculpture called Journey to Janus. It goes across the whole top of the library, even into the little entryway that you can see from the lower level. Oregon-based sculptor Walter Gordonier created this sculpture called the Journey to Janus. You can see it from the lower level and the upper level at the same time. It is named after a Roman god that had 2 faces. It saw the past and the future at the same time. So Journey to Janus is created to show that the library is the keeper of the past and the future at the same time. It's very cool, made of metal and glass, spans the whole entryway on the south side of the library. The lights on the second level also have pieces of glass that represent parts of the sculpture and the part that we saw previously in the ceiling. Now as we move on to the second floor, you will find this piece that is a quilt. Quilting is an art form where you take pieces of cotton fabric and you sew them together between layers of cotton batting and a backing to create a blanket or quilt. This is one that's hung on the wall. Experienced quilter Denise Griffin found the bookcase pattern and organized a group of artists to work together to create a really fun bookcase design. And you can even see the children's room mascot, Miss Mounce, was transferred in fabric in between the books. The names of the quilters and titles of the books are also found on the edge of the design. This piece of art is a group of canvases painted by different teen artists in Downers Grove. The title is Windows. I don't really know that much about it, but I know that a few of even my students worked together to create these scenes of what they saw, maybe in fantasy or reality, coming from different windows. It's located in the teen area upstairs. These 4 watercolor paintings are painted by Robin Faulkner, a Chicago-based artist who went to the University of Illinois. She created 4 different paintings from different views of the library over time as they built additions and evolved and changed the library that we know today. A small meeting room called the Quiet Room on the 2nd floor has Gregory Cove's painting called Illinois Sojourn. It mirrors the window design, and it almost makes you feel like you're looking out into an Illinois rolling hills landscape. You can see clouds, a barn, and different wildflowers in the foreground. Also located around the 2nd floor are different artists that chose to depict landscapes in their work by either painting them, drawing, or taking photographs. This is a painting by Pamela Hart. Three photographs of Chicago. And an aerial view of Navy Pier by Bruce Heinrich. There are also 2 abstract paintings by Pietro Adamo, and he is a Canadian artist who studied college at the University of Toronto. He liked abstract art because he thought it was different and fun and just gave him that opportunity to create with lines and shapes. This set of Burmese teaching panels came from Mandalay in northeast Burma. They were carved at the end of the 19th century and combine both painting and carved wooden sculpture. Regular visitors to the Downers Grove Public Library don't get to see the historical photos of the Downers Grove Library. That's a panoramic view of the original library on the same site that we're standing on today. There's also a grandfather clock located in the offices that was from the original library. Beautiful and detailed, does not work anymore. Over time, the mechanism just broke down. Art is also outside the public library. Located on the southwest side of the library is the Garden Walk, and you can find Gary Price's bronze sculpture called Children of Peace. I would like to thank the Downers Grove Public Library for allowing me to come visit the library before it opened. It was nice to get a tour and be able to enjoy the art in our community without being interrupted by other visitors. Take a trip over there and look at it for yourself. Now that we're done with our field trip, we're going to play the game This or That, where you're going to make a choice between 2 things. It could be 2 styles of art, 2 kinds of materials that were used, or individual artworks you prefer. This will help you for our next lesson as we start to narrow down what types, styles, or materials you prefer, just to kind of get you thinking. Let's go through each one. This one says sculptures, which are hanging or freestanding, or murals, which are painted right on the wall. Do you prefer realistic or abstract? Realistic is a real building. Abstract is lines, shapes, and colors. Do you prefer art that tells a story? Or do you prefer art that shows a moment in time? Do you prefer buildings? Something like solid and realistic, or do you prefer people or portraits? Now, we made a portrait with Miss Capitini the past few weeks, so think those kind of portraits too. Do you prefer art that's made with several artists working together? Those are called collaborations, or art made by one artist alone. And this one, I want you to think about what you like to do. Would you rather work with a group of people to make a piece of art, or would you rather make a piece of art by yourself? This one down here says art displayed fancy or on a pedestal. We've seen art displayed hanging from ceilings, art on little stands like this glass piece, or do you prefer art displayed on a wall? Then on slide 4 is most of the art from our field trip today. Circle your favorite and tell us why you like it. When you're done, don't forget to hit the green check button and send your art to your teacher.